Okay, so what I do want to show you here, if you ever buy one of these heat guns or you've got one of these heat guns, a must have is what they call the tacking nozzle. I hope you can see that, it gets focused. It's the tacking nozzle, and these are so handy it's untrue. They will improve your plastic work 70%. They're a brilliant little thing. You just stick them on the end of the gun and just melt the two plastics together. That's before you even add any welding plastic rods or out like that. These will just melt the two together and hold it in position. As you can see on the other side of the filter, I've had a piece like this, and obviously the side bends round, but this is wanting to go straight. Now I will show you how I put that on by tacking it first. Okay guys, the gun's up to temperature. I've got the tacking nozzle in, so we'll just get this started in position. Get it roughly where you want it, and then we'll run along here with the tacking nozzle. Hold it in position till it goes off. Once you've got a good hold on it, I shall do the other side. Make sure it's vertical as it's cooling down. I also have a little wire brush to keep the nozzle clean with. It pays to keep the nozzle clean. Now as you can see, that wants to bend round with the shape of the filter. So now I shall pull it over a little. Now that's cooled down a bit, and put another run on there. Just let that cool down. I can do another run on the inside. Lovely. Now we can carry on. Another clean up with the brush. Get the old plastic off. Bend it around some more. To there. Now we'll run down there. And as you can see, that holds it in perfect position. It's in the perfect position, ready for welding. They're absolutely a brilliant little nozzle. These are excellent little nozzles. And there you go. That's the two tacked in, and exactly the same shape as the tub. I haven't had to fasten them down or anything. I've just tacked in, and now I can go ahead and go around and plastic weld them. But they're held perfect. That's a fantastic little nozzle. It's a must have if you're using a plastic welding gun. And there we go guys, all welded up and ready to go. Great stuff. But as I say, them tacking nozzles just make it so easy. Just tack it in place and then run down with your weld. Well worth buying. Right guys, I'm out here fitting the actual filter ready to go in. As you can see, I've made a top for it, and the hole that we've got dug, I've now got a couple of slabs in the bottom for the base just to keep it stable, stop it moving. So now it's got to be a matter of getting it in if we can, getting it in there and see how everything fits, and looking what fittings I need to join to the pipe. I've got 190 there, but I think I need another. But it's all ready to go in, as you can see down there. Nice base for it, so I'm going to get it in position. Not fitted, but I'm going to get it in position and then just check up where all the levels come. Okay guys, that's where it's going to go. That's where it's going to be fitting. So that's looking quite good at the minute. I'm quite pleased with that. And the pipe, the out pipe, the outflow into the filter, if you can see it, is down there. I hope you can see it. It's down that side. There is a little bit of my rope in the way, but it's down there. That's going to come up and into the filter house. The inflow from the pond will drop in down there. So yeah, quite pleased with that. Great stuff. Right, so my next job is I've got to take it out. I've got to cut a little bit out of the bottom of that board to allow the gate valve just to come under there. Just needs a little bit out of the bottom, and I also want to put it back a little bit more. So I'm going to have to take an inch out of them slabs at the back there, just cut an inch out of them. So that's my next job. So I'm going to whip it out the hole and then get them cut. There we go, that wasn't too difficult. Now we'll get it so it fits in the hole due to the pipe work and that back section. Now I'm going to get the grinder. I've got the cutting disc in it. I've got a mask on, so if I sound funny it's because of the mask, but I'm now going to cut the slabs. Right, well there you can see I've got the front cut down there and the section cut out of the slabs at the back. So it's ready to drop back in again now. Right, well that's it in, all in position. That's with the gate valve on. I haven't solvent welded it yet, so I shall take it out and solvent weld that in. There's access to the pipe up the back, so I can get that in. The black on top is the electric to the pump. That's the lead that goes to the actual pond pump. But yeah, all in and fitted. So that's ready, or nearly ready, just a couple of jobs on it, to be fitted to the main line. But to do that I've got to shut the pond down, drain that line, that pipe down actually, and get into there to solvent weld it up. But I need another 90, like I say, I think on there. I'm going to try another 90. I'm not quite sure. I think to try to bend a pipe that much is too much, so it'll be just as easy to get another 90-degree elbow. But that's in, and how she's going to, or where she's going to be when it's done. Well, good morning everybody. It's early morning here, and today's the day that I wanted to get this sieve filter up and running. Now the problem being I've got to shut my pond down while I do it all and do all the pipe work, and the big problem is they give it raining all day today, and it really does look like it, I'm afraid. So I'm not sure. I don't want to get my pond shut down and then find that I've got to stop everything because it's pouring down with rain. So I'm just going to do a few preliminary jobs and just see how the weather goes. Try to play it by ear a little bit if I can. Well guys, a bit of a disaster on the old fitting front. A problem with the pond. As you can see, the water level is in that pipe there. This pipe is actually full of water to that point. Now my idea was to shut my 2 gate valves off, drain this pipe down, cut it and join the filter, which should have been quite simple. I've got my vac at the back there, as you can see. I siphoned this pipe off with my pond vac and it's filling back up again. So the problem we've got is with the 2 gate valves that control my flow, they're not actually working, or one of them's not working. It's letting that pipe fill back up again. How long's my pond been here? About 3 years, just under 3 years, and one of them, or both of them, just aren't sealing at all. But there you go. I tried to use them because they're easier to open and close down that manhole, but now I wish I hadn't. But never mind. So now the only alternative I've got, I've still got my net on by the way, is to drain my pond down a foot until it empties this pipe. So it's got to empty this pipe beyond the point of that there. Well, I don't want to lose over a foot of water and then have to top it back up again. So what I'm going to do now is clean me holding tank out and fill that with pond water, hoping I can save some of it. I have actually, as you can see now, we've had this disaster, connected my small pressure filter. That filter has come in handy when you've got to shut your pump and everything down, because this could take me more than a day. So I've had to rig all that up quick. I have it all ready, so I can just pull it out, drop the pump in and off we go. That's going to keep my filters alive. So that is actually running into the Backy River, and from the Backy River it's running into the moving bed. I've done that to keep my bacteria alive. So now what I've got to do is get the top off the holding tank, get it drained down and hopefully pump some water into the holding tank. Don't you just love it? Try to save some, but I've got to drop the pond by about a foot. Well guys, what an afternoon I've had. Unbelievable. As you can see there, it's all connected up now into the sieve. I've just got to connect from the sieve into the shed, and then I'm done out here. I can go inside and stop getting wet with this drizzly rain. I've been wet a couple of times this afternoon, but there you go. As you can see, I've really had to drop some water out of this pond. I've had to drop it down about 2 foot. I did actually fill my holding tank with some of it. That's what I'm putting back in up this end at the moment. That's what's going back in, and the other end is obviously the circulation I've got going through the backy and moving bed. But what a job! And that's all because them blooming gate valves didn't work. And it's not like I overwork them. I switch them on and off twice a year. So they've not been overworked and they don't work. Unbelievable. I've really gone off gate valves. I'd already got the one solvent welded on here, so I'm stuck with that. And of course that's all I'd allowed for. I hadn't allowed for anything bigger, else I wouldn't have put that on there. But that's the state of things at the moment. Well, what a day. It's now tea time really. Well, it was my tea time an hour ago and I've not had anything yet. I'm starving, but it's in. It's in and fitted and plumbed to the shed. The pump's wired up, ready to go. The pond's filling up, ready to go. So it's now just a matter of getting the inside of the shed. I'll just show you in there. It's a bit of a disaster area in here at the moment. I've got stuff absolutely everywhere, as you can see. It's all going very well, but the other's out. I've just got to take them 1.5-inch pipes out, and now I've got to go from, I don't think you'll see it, it's down behind there, the elbow that comes in, up and into the 2 pipes that go round. So that's my next job. I've got to get that done. As soon as I get that done and welded up, I don't see any reason why I can't switch it on. So we'll give it a go, I think, but I've still got quite a bit to do yet. I've got to get the pipe out of that splitter, that Y connection, probably do a bit of warming up and get the old pipe out to get some new in. So I've still got quite a bit of work to do yet. But the thing is, now I'm in the dry. I've no need to be outside anymore. Well, I hope I haven't. But there you go. I shouldn't think it'll rain now. Better my luck, that. Well, good morning guys, and what a morning it is. I wanted to get up this morning and get down and get this new filter up and running, get my pond back in circulation, but it's done nothing but rain since I've got up. It's now 10 o'clock and it's still raining, so I'm not quite sure what to do. I don't mind putting a coat on and going out there in the rain and getting it up and running, but the trouble is having my camera out there in the rain is not good, so you guys won't see any of it. So basically I want to get it when you guys can watch it, obviously, and I'm not going to take a 250 pound camera out in the rain, I'm afraid. I'm stood inside my back door at the moment, so it's not getting wet. I'm going to give it a bit longer and hope this rain subsides. Hopefully it will, and then we can get out there and get it struck up. I do want you guys to see how it goes from the word go. You'll see it as I do it, so we'll see how things go from the very start. So just keeping my fingers crossed this rain gives up. Okay guys, that's got you set up on the tripod, so what I'm going to do now, we've got a nice bit of sunshine at the moment, so what I'm going to do now is just let some water in there and see if we can get this thing up and running. Hopefully as it rises, the regulating valve should slow it down, and I shall then go and turn the pump on. Okay. All looks good there. I like it. Sorry guys, I left you there. I had to go and sort out, make sure everything's okay in the filter house. But it all looks to be working okay at the moment. I'll just take you guys off the stand and show you inside. It's working at the moment. Looking good. I like it. It's all going through the mesh. Drop board's working okay. Right, that's the float chamber. The regulator seems to be working okay. So let's go have a look in the filter. Okay guys, just look at the RDF. It's a little bit dark in there, I don't know if you'll see anything. Good flow going into there. Could do with turning up a little bit to keep up with the flow. We're on, at the moment, if it'll focus, don't know whether you can see that. We're on 115 watt, so that's just over 100 watt that. Well, there we go, all running well, quite pleased with that. It's working really nice, collecting all the fuzzy bits of algae in the bottom there, all working well. The float's regulating the flow. I've got the gate valve wide open. So I've just been round basically. I haven't filled the sides or anything because I'm going to fill these sides that go down the side of this filter with soil. But I haven't filled them in yet because I want to check for leaks, make sure nothing's leaking. The sun's out at the minute. It is really nice here after all that rain. On the pond itself, we've got a good return back to the pond. That's coming through nicely. Great stuff. The pond's a bit cloudy because in my haste, when I switched it on and wanted to get everything running, I forgot about this filter, the pressure filter that's been working on it for nearly 2 days, and I just turned it off and went back and just kept my eye on everything that was going on. And of course, because everything's higher than this pressure filter, it backflowed and all the dirt has now gone into the pond that it did catch. So it's messed my pond up a bit really, but never mind, the RDF will soon clear that. But great stuff, a good flow back. Let's have a look in the filter house, and in here everything seems to be going really well. I've been lucky, I think, by the looks of it. I can't see any leaks anywhere, so all that's running well. The RDF's running well. There's a good flow into there. Not sure if you'll see it, but there's a good flow coming back into the RDF. So everything is working spot on at the moment, and I'm using roughly, don't know whether this camera will pick it up to be honest, I'm running about 135 watt at the moment, which isn't a fantastic saving. I was expecting a little bit more, but that's still a saving of 40 watt an hour, so I'm still saving 40 watt an hour by running this pump. So I'm quite pleased with that really, and it's doing the job. Everything is going fine, the river's running. Like I say, I kept these running with that little pressure filter and a submersible pump. But great stuff, and look at that sun, beautiful stuff. We've had 2 days of solid rain, 2.5 days, and I thought we was going to have another day today. But I did get wet yesterday, rather. My wife made me, I was a little bit muddy and messed up. My wife made me get undressed in the kitchen. She said, "You're not coming any further." I thought she was being romantic for a minute, but I knew I was being silly. But there you go. But yeah, all of them running. Fantastic. The only mistake I did make was the gate valve. I don't mean fitting it, but I've got it actually upright, and I wish I hadn't. I wish I'd put it down sideways, because that's going to stick up there. If I'd have laid it down, it would have gone level with the board, so that's going to be sticking out, but never mind, it's late at that now. I'm surprised I didn't think of that earlier. But that's the only problem I've come across. Everything else is just working brilliant. I'm really pleased with it. The float and control valve are keeping the water level spot on. That is exactly where I want it, so that's working really well. Anyway guys, from a very happy ponder at the moment in South Lincolnshire, it just leaves me to say, do take care, thanks for watching, and happy ponding.